You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy-dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, with my good friends, Petra Burke. Hello. And Kate Abbott.
How do?
And we've got a fun show for you tonight. We've been sitting here giggling all by ourselves. We're going to talk about some of the things that happen when you own a dog. The title of the show is, If You Didn't Have a Dog, fill in the blank. So we're going to talk about some variety of things that dog owners do just because they love their dogs. So let your imagination go wild. Hold on for a second for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
From Paris, New York, and around the globe, get ready for the hip, the trendy, the uber cool where pets rule. If you've got a passion for pet fashion and a flair for animal wear, this is the ultimate place to take a peek at what's chic in the world of designer pet fashion and cool new pet products. On the Pet Set with our fashion diva, Queen Dog Lady. The Pet Set, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz, and with me are Petra and Kate. And today, the title of our show is If You Didn't Have a Dog. Now, let's talk about the first thing. Petra, you were house hunting recently.
Exactly. And I have to laugh because it's exactly it. First, I look for a house that me and my daughter would be comfortable in. After that, it's all about the dogs and the animals. Okay, how big is the yard? You know,
is it fenced?
Yeah, is it fenced? Do I have sections where I can put the goat, the chickens, the horses? Where can I make a fence? Where can the dog run go? Where can the chickens? All of a sudden, it's all about the animals.
Did you even look at the house?
Yeah, well, as long as it had a bathroom, kitchen, sleeping quarters, good roof on it, you're like, okay, we can live in the house. Now, what about the animals? Oh my gosh! And then the color of the carpet.
Yeah. Sure.
It's true. There are some that's like, yeah, everything's cream color, too light. No, got dark dogs, not going to work. Got horses, mud.
Other people get excited because, ooh, hardwood floors. Oh, how beautiful, how warm. We're like, cool, we can get the hair up real easy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or is the surface too slick? The dogs, when they play, going to slip on it.
Too.
You know? I mean, it's all these things, and luckily my realtor is very animal savvy, and she completely understands. But can you imagine somebody who just looks at you weird?
They wouldn't be a realtor for me very long.
Yeah.
When I moved into the house I'm in right now, one of the first things I did, go out back, pull out that cactus garden. All those stickers, not in my baby's paws.
Or nose.
Or nose.
And having been vet techs, we know what cactus can
And
do.
those were Choyas. Little
that
jumping.
stick.
Yeah.
You know, what's even worse is the location of the house. Is it near a busy street? How far is the busy street to the location of the house? I think of all these crazy things.
What
if
dogs?
my dog got out.
Well, I remember you talking about one place, and you were so thrilled because there were pugs next door.
Yeah, really nice people and
Really
friendly
nice,
pugs.
friendly dogs next door. Like most people care about that when buying a house.
You know, it's crazy.
We had new people move in behind us, and they have a beagle. No offense to those of you who love beagles, but beagles go ow at 11 o'clock at night. And I don't know whether the owners are very sound sleepers or work evenings, but that beagle's out there at 11 o'clock at night.
Well, they're training it to speak.
No,
You know, and that's-
I got a Barker breaker and mounted it, one of the ones that looks like a birdhouse, and mounted it on my property, pointing towards his. So now I hear ow.
There you go. And that was one thing I also looked for. I know it sounds silly, but what breeds were in my neighborhood that I had to deal with?
Exactly. You're going to go out for a walk, you want to know who you're going to run into.
And was it a big dog with a short fence? Do I have to worry about the dog jumping out if I'm outside with my dog? It's crazy when you're house hunting. But think of these. Of course, my daughter's like, Mom, how about my bedroom?
Yeah, but she's 16. She's going to be out of the house in a couple of years.
Exactly what I said.
How about homeowners associations?
Oh.
Now, the one that my husband and I live in is very good, knock on wood.
Yeah.
They-
Nobody's here.
Speaking of Walter, they keep the front of the houses looking very nice. They keep things neat and clean, but they're not overly restrictive. But some homeowners associations can be really, really tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Luckily, when I was with the condo years ago, we were okay. Didn't have any problems.
Yeah. But you
But,
definitely want to check into that if the neighborhood has a homeowners
Because
association.
a lot of them have limits on the size of dog.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sure. Or
number of dogs.
The call I got the other day, the woman that was inquiring about therapy dog classes, because she wanted to move into this apartment condo complex, and she could only have, the dogs that were there could only be there if they were a certified therapy pet or were in the process of becoming a certified therapy pet.
That's so weird.
Once I found out why she wanted to be a therapy pet owner, I didn't call her back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have to want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you go house hunting, if you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't have to worry about zoning for dogs.
No.
Homeowners restrictions for dogs.
Wouldn't have to worry about the size of the yard.
You wouldn't have to worry about fenced-in yard. You wouldn't have to worry about the color of carpet. You wouldn't have to worry whether there's grass or other ground cover in the backyard. And you wouldn't have to worry quite so much about access to the house.
Yeah, exactly. It'd make your life so much easier. Or house hunting so much easier.
If you didn't have a dog, you could live in a high-rise condo with white carpeting. Just think about that.
It's unimaginable, actually.
Do people actually live like that?
Well, New York.
Well,
in New York.
downtown Oceanside, the Marina condos
Oh, yeah.
at the harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have
Can you
to,
imagine first thing in the morning, you gotta bring little Fifi out to potty? Okay,
And-
let's hurry! How
and-
fast can the elevator go down? Quick, quick, quick.
No, she would have a doggy litter box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
actually, I can't. In 5th grade, we moved into a house where my bedroom had pure white plush shag.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, for a child, that's not allowed.
And we had 2
Forget the
dogs.
animals.
My mother covered every square inch with throw rugs.
Yeah, I could see
I
why.
never really got to enjoy that pure white shag plush carpeting.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, how about furniture? If you didn't have a dog, you could have a velvet sofa, and you wouldn't have to tell the salesman, leather only, please, in dirt brown.
You mean there are people that live without sheets thrown over their couches as slipcovers?
Paul and I you both have seen our living room. We have that big brown sectional leather, dirt brown,
Yep.
and we have the dirt brown recliner. And you know what? I love them. I absolutely love them because I can use leather cleaner, scrub them off. They look good. They're several years old now, and they look good. It's absolutely wonderful.
I'm just in the habit of throwing sheets over. Doorbell rings, and those things get snatched up and disappear. It's amazing.
I purposely look for blankets or bedspreads even will work. Or that
Well,
match, I look nice to throw it over. But yeah, there's times when, you want somebody over, you like to uncover your couch, because I like my couch when they're not covered. They're actually kind of pretty.
I forgot
See,
what
once
color
in a
it
while.
was.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? Yeah, but that'd be only for like that evening, and then after that, people are gone. Put the covers back on. Dogs can come back in the house.
Well, of course, you can always take the dog with you to the furniture store to match his hair to the upholstery.
Can you imagine walking with all four of mine?
But I would be, yeah. And it would be perpetually Halloween. I've got an orange cat, 2 black dogs.
Or like Liz had a great rug that had all sorts of browns and beiges and blacks. And
Well, I still
that
do.
works.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
The only problem is the Aussies have the white front legs, white feet, white on the chest, and there's no white in the carpet. Now, the brown hair doesn't show, the black hair doesn't show, but the white does. But still, that's only one of the 3.
Yeah. Takes care of 2 out of 3 colors.
Yeah, the primary shedding, the black hair, doesn't show. The downside to that is when I vacuum and I fill up the Dyson canister and I go, oh, shoot, I should have vacuumed a few days ago.
Oh, definitely.
And that's the other thing. If you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't have to have a Dyson animal vacuum cleaner. But I
that's
love
true.
that Dyson.
Oh, I love mine.
This is an unpaid, unsolicited commercial.
I love
Dyson is
mine.
not a sponsor that I know of, but I love that machine.
Love it.
If I didn't have a dog, I could buy smaller couches. Because I go in there and say, I need one for 2 people, a Rottweiler, and a small dog, and a cat.
Oh, that's definitely true. Paul and I have that great big huge L-shaped sectional. I sit at one end, he sits at the other end.
Right.
3 dogs, 3 cats in the middle.
Yep.
Yes.
Ours is worse. We've got that love seat, we've got the couch and a chair. So I'm using the chair. Kayla's always laid out on the couch. And Teddy has a love seat.
And the rest of the dogs have to lay on the floor.
Yeah, they're on dog beds on the floor.
My previous Roddy, she had the love seat. Yeah, that was the only reason it was in the room.
Yeah, exactly. It would be nice to use it, but don't know. Haven't sat there.
Except when company came over, And
Yes.
then the thing got snatched up, and Lord, the poor visitor who would sit on the love seat and the Rottweiler would just stare.
You're on my chair.
Yeah.
Is
Excuse
there
me,
a
move.
problem?
Leave her alone. It's okay. It's fine. So come over here and lay down on the floor? You expect me to lay on the floor like a real dog?
Or the bed.
Yeah.
I have a king-size bed because it's me and the dogs.
Okay. Paul and I have a California king, and I still find myself up at the edge of it. In the middle of the night, I wake up and shove somebody over. Move. Okay, how about clothes? We wear t-shirts, jeans, and tennies. But,
You know, I could see he's having some nice slacks, more of a business suit, maybe silk blouse, but no.
Only if you bought one of those clear vinyl raincoats. And you got dressed in the closet. You put on the raincoat until you could get out, but you'd have to wear it all the way to work because your car's full of hair, too.
Exactly.
I went to a women's business networking group that meets like at 6:30 in the morning before the business day starts, and of course
Imagine her in the morning.
Yeah, I did it because, promote the business, blah, blah, blah. So I got up early, I went there, and they said, wear your normal business attire.
Oh, dear.
So I wore clean, newer jeans,
You dressed up.
the Kindred Spirits shirt, one of the newer ones, the one with the embroidered patch on it. And the lecture that day was business attire.
Okay.
Well, you were.
All the other women were in business suits, either slacks or skirts, but business suits with blouse and jacket, tastefully scarf, brooch, whatever. The guys were in suits or were in nice collared shirts, whatever. And the speaker pointedly looked at me a couple different times as he was talking about making a good first impression, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I saw his eyes continuing to, and since I'm not that stunningly attractive, I know that's why he wasn't looking at me. So I got up.
He may have had the hots for you.
I doubt it. So, may have been Bashir. Bashir was with me, but Bashir was under the table. So, anyway, when there were questions, I got up and I said, okay, let's talk about this. Appropriate business attire.
Have we mentioned that Liz is not shy? Go ahead.
And I said, this is my normal business attire. And he kind of stuttered a little bit and said, well, have you considered dressing up just a little bit more? And I said, well, yes, but clothing's very expensive and it gets damaged often. And he looked at me and, it gets damaged? And I said, I'm a dog trainer. He goes, oh, well, you know that what you're wearing might be just perfectly appropriate. And he stuttered as he said it.
So we're not going to have to wear freshly pressed khakis
No.
and
No.
polo shirts?
No. Well, he did suggest polo shirts, but he said, but hey.
Yeah, really. We're happy.
The other problem...
Dogs don't care what we wear.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
No. And besides, red is our color, our
Sure.
trademark, which is great, but it does fade. I mean, the cost of polo shirts and then
It fades.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it fades.
I mean,
Yeah.
I already have enough that I have to get dressed somewhat business-like for my
work.
other work.
Yeah.
But it's like lint brush or the roller thing all over.
Well, that's another thing. If you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't have to have umpteen dozen pet hair rollers.
Exactly. It's like, and once you roll, don't walk past anything or touch anything. Dog hair is, you never
in the
know.
air.
Yes, it's blowing in the air. Okay, let's move on. When we have get-togethers either at our homes or out here at the training yard. I mean, we've had everything from birthday parties and memorials for friends who have passed out here at the training yard. There's always dogs. There's usually kids. But just think, if you didn't have a dog, you could have a fancy dinner party. You could have people come all dressed up.
You
But
can
then-
use your good china. And
You could put out your
crystal
kitchen
glasses.
instead of paper plates and plastic silverware.
Yeah. You can wear your
You can have
nylons and heels.
Well, I
I've
wouldn't
worn
be
nylons
there.
and heels on the training field
Well, that's true. You did. You were quite dressed up that one day, but you stuck out like a sore thumb.
for the
Kate,
shock effect.
Kate was a member of a wedding party, and for shock effect, came all dressed up in her fancy attire and heels and pantyhose, and nobody recognized her.
No.
They did. Who is that person hobbling, getting stuck in their heels stuck in the grass as they're hobbling across the field
So there you go. You don't have
with
to
my
have,
training bag
You
hung
don't have
off
to
one
have
corner.
dinner parties in a yard.
Yeah.
You can have it in a house with.
You
Like,
could
solid
have a
floors.
barbecue where the kids could roll around on the grass, and you wouldn't have to pick them up and whisper in their ear that that's not a good idea.
Oh, because the dog had gone potty there? Yes. Petra's sister-in-law will never, ever live that down. Never, ever. So, but because we've got dogs,
Or sitting on your they sit down on the sofa and go, what's under the cushion?
it's a dog bone or a ball.
How do you feel?
All our
Did it make a
party
noise?
invitations say casual. And other dog owners understand why there might be a dog hair in the dip.
Food is usually designed with the dogs in mind to a certain degree, too.
Sure.
But nothing comes to mind. Well, chocolate is kept out of sight.
Yeah.
or at
Oh,
least up and
chocolate's
about.
always out of reach, yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, then there's the Christmas party when my supposedly well-trained 10-year-old dog decided to help himself to the Christmas cookies.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not as much putting stuff down on coffee tables.
He was
Yeah.
so quick about it, and then looked so innocent afterwards.
Well, the story was the Christmas party was over, people were leaving, Riker came out to say hi to everybody, and as everybody got up and started to walk away, Riker made a dive for the Christmas cookies.
It was in a bowl. I thought it was food for him.
It wasn't on the floor.
Well,
And thankfully, there were no chocolate cookies in there.
They were all shocked.
They were all sugar cookies, and he was wide awake for hours.
Yep, good thing we all left.
Everybody else was celebrating.
Well, we're having a lot of fun, but we need to take a break for our sponsors, so continue to let your imaginations go wild. Think of some things that you relate to having a dog or not, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Give your dog some thought with Dog Thoughts. It's the iPhone application that everyone's talking about.
Hey, what do you think of this? A man in Davis, California says he's invented an application for the iPhone that claims it can read your dog's mind. Huh? No, it's true. I read about it on my cat's Twitter page. That's why.
Jay Leno talked about it, CBS reported on it, and now you can see what all the buzz is about. Created just for dog lovers, Dog Thoughts makes taking photos of your furry best friend more fun. Shake your dog and read his mind. On your iPhone, of course. Take a pic of your pup, shake your phone, and watch as his thoughts appear on the screen. Does he have a bone to pick with you, or is he having a tail-wagging day? Get your Dog Thoughts iPhone app today. Just 99 cents. Go to PetLifeRadioPromotions.com. That's PetLifeRadioPromotions.com.
Greetings, human. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at PetPlanetMagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
Hi, this is Marcy Davis and my service dog Whistle, and we're your hosts of Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio. Working Like Dogs is the show where you can learn everything you ever wanted to know about working animals or working dogs. Whether you're a member of a working dog team or you've just seen a working dog or animal out at the mall or the grocery store and you're curious about how these amazing animals work with their human partners, then Working Like Dogs is the show for you. Join us for the inside scoop at Working Like Dogs on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. Today we're having some fun, some ideas along the theme of if you didn't have a dog. How about lawns? You know, when you got a dog, the yard is part and parcel with it. Now, yours is dry.
But, you know, a tennis ball can still, well, when the grass is green and long, or when it is dry. I have a riding lawnmower, and tennis balls are everywhere. And if I don't pay attention, and then it goes ka-chunk, and then go boing, and you see it shoot out to the side. I'm like, whoa, okay, there that goes.
Hope you never hit a horse.
I know. This is a tennis ball.
Now, Kate doesn't have a lawn.
No, but the previous house was a suburban tract home.
Okay.
With the lawn in the front and the back.
Okay.
I came home one day and I'm like, what's different about the backyard? My roommate had decided she couldn't stand the brown spots out on the lawn anymore.
Green spray paint?
Food coloring.
Oh,
She'd gone out there with green food coloring and tried to fill in the brown spots. It was a very strange looking, sort of Dr. Seuss looking lawn.
So did the dog turn green?
No, once it dried, it was fine. It just wasn't natural green.
That's
I
weird.
remember in Santa Barbara, California, one time when they were having a bad drought, and this was years ago, they were forbidden to water their lawns at all. And so there was a company that came around and from a truck sprayed green. The green coloring.
I remember.
So you could still have a green lawn.
Yeah.
Now, I made a change this winter. I've tried to have a green lawn, but I have a little bitty house, little bitty lawn, and my willow tree in the backyard is now getting huge. Grass does not grow under a willow tree. So I let all the grass die, didn't water it at all, hit it with Roundup in a few other places, and now I've got 3 inches of bark. The little chunk bark. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a little hard to see the doggy landmines sometimes, but not that hard. Not hard enough to change it. The dogs can run and play. They can pee on it. There's no brown spots. It's all bark. It's all brown. And it smells good.
Right, good idea.
Water the tree, water the plants, so you get the bark smell.
And now if you didn't have a dog, you could have a perfectly manicured green grass that you can roll around to your heart's content.
If you didn't have a dog, when you mowed that lawn, you wouldn't have to search for those hidden landmines.
Yeah.
Got to pick up before you mow.
And then finding all the dog toys before you mow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cars. Let's see. You've got a truck. Kate's got a truck. Petra's got a truck. I got a huge van. If you didn't have a dog, you might have that little bitty tiny sports car.
Yep.
You might have, a bright red something with nice velour seats.
You might have a clean car, for Pete's sake. I mean,
Yeah, nose prints on the windows. You wouldn't have those.
Mine is clean today because the guy who details my van came this morning. But there's probably already nose prints as we drove here. But
I saw a bumper sticker. It said, if I didn't own a horse, I'd own a Ferrari. I thought, I need to change that. If I didn't own animals, I'd own a Ferrari.
Yeah. And then there's that new car smell. You know, when you got dogs, when you get a new car, that smell goes away real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And it begins to smell like dog, especially wet dog.
That's a better smell.
Well, not wet dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it? Those little square cars that you can practically hose down
the
Elements.
Inside. Honda Elements.
I am intrigued by those. If anybody can tell me, do they really do have a plug you can unscrew and just hose the whole inside
And is
out?
the wiring protected enough so that you can hose it out?
Sounds like a wonderful thing.
But that's another thing. When you go car hunting, you look for a car that'll hold your dogs, and it's convenient.
When the previous truck that I bought with my other Roddy, she was much larger, bigger Roddy, I took her with me. And when I found a truck that I was like, hang on a minute, let me see if my dog can get in and out.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the salesman would kind of look, I said, if she can't get in and out, then I can't buy this truck.
Well, when I bought this van, which is, for our listeners, a fully custom van, we call her the fancy van. Carpeting, velour on the sides, on the top, the whole thing, leather seats, captain chairs, TVs, custom. When the salesman found out I was interested in it, after I'd already been looking for a dog truck, he went, this van is not for a dog van. This is a road trip van. This is a fancy van. And I said,
out of a commission, boy.
I said, oh no, this has dog van written all over it. And I thought the man was going to cry. I thought of course it had just come in less than an hour before from the customizing place. They were still wiping it down. They had just driven it onto the lot. I saw it, didn't even look at the price sticker, started drooling.
And the guy's probably going, no, lady, you need a truck.
And my dog will really love the videos I can play on the back.
Petra's daughter Kayla loved those. In fact, I think she's still the only one that knows how to work it.
Yep.
But if you didn't have a dog, you could have bought that fancy sports car instead of the SUV or the truck or the van. You wouldn't have to worry about being able to clean it, or whether the carpet was washable, or whether you needed to put seat covers over the seats.
Wouldn't have dog nose prints. Had
all
clean
over the
windows
glass.
at all the time. There's so many benefits to that. But oh well, we have fun with our dogs.
Yeah.
So.
And we like our trucks.
One of our students with the English Mastiff, when they first got her, they had a little CRV.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, little Honda.
And then she started growing, and I was driving behind him one night after classes, and I didn't really realize it was his car, but it was like, what is that massive shape in the back of that car making the car
Oh, the springs
sway
on
from
the
side to
car
side?
were not up to her weight.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
so they actually had to upgrade their
Yeah.
car as the dog grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have an appropriate sized car for her now.
So funny.
All right, well, here's a pet peeve of ours. If you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't spend an hour in the pet food section of the store reading labels, comparing pet food ingredients and nutrition, and cussing under your breath as you did so.
Yeah. You seem to go down all the other aisles to get your own food, kids' food, pretty quickly. You get to the dog section or whatever, you stop. And you're going, crap food.
This is important.
Now, perhaps we should read the labels on our food a little better.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah, it's tough picking good food. But we've had other podcasts on that subject, and I'm sure we'll have more in the future.
Yeah. Even dog bones or the rawhides. Where's it made? I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know that. Oop, nope.
Definitely.
I'm not going to grab
And
that
biscuits.
one. Yep.
Do you realize almost all dog biscuits on the market are made of wheat or corn? Mm-hmm. Absolutely horrible. Yep.
And you only know that by spending an hour in the aisle for the dog food.
All right. Kate and I both have stories on this one, and I think Petra probably does too. If you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't come out of the store to find 3 kids with their noses pressed up to the glass window of your car saying, "Oh, look at the cute little doggy," as your dog is tearing up the interior of their car trying to protect it.
Yeah, and my two kind of play, what's the term, when you lure somebody in and then double swap them out? Anyway.
Bait and switch?
Bait and switch. Because there's a bumper sticker on the back of my truck that says, if you can read this, my Rottweiler thinks you're too close.
Sure.
So,
They get closer to read it,
but
don't
she
they?
lays down, and she's quiet.
So they see cute little Walter.
And Walter's up there going, "Hi, there, I'm a little cockapoo, aren't I cute?" And they come over, and about that time, my Roddy rises from the depths of the truck and goes, "Roar!" And there's been a couple of times I've come out of a store to see someone falling, leaping backwards away from my truck.
Well, good. I like those alarm systems that say you are too close to this vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've got a couple stories. Riker, my silly, funny 10-year-old Australian Shepherd, who's an awesome therapy dog, who thinks the world needs all the love he can give, is protective of only 2 things, our house and the van. He says the van is his. Of course, he and the van are the same age. He loves that van. 2 times I've seen him go absolutely, I can't use those words on the air. Berserk. There we go. And both were when people were trying to break into the van. The police officer told me after the first incident, he said, the smugglers who tried to smuggle people across the border, we are in Southern California, like the big vans with lots of power. So when they see one, the Triton V8,
Oh, yeah?
they like the big powered vehicles. The second time I didn't even call a cop, but second time was almost the funniest. I was walking out of the grocery store. I had just gone to the bank in the grocery store. I walk out, and I always park at the back of the parking lot because I figured give me a little exercise. So I'm walking out, and I see this, let's use the term loosely, gentleman approaching the van.
Yes.
And now the fancy van has tinted windows in the back. There was no visible dog to be seen. The gentleman walked up to the van, was looking around, reached out to touch the driver's door handle, and all of a sudden a 45-pound Aussie appeared in the front seat, roaring.
Looking rabid.
I could hear him all the way to walking out of the front of the store. So I pulled out my cell phone, and I didn't even hurry up. I knew the guy wasn't getting in the van. And I'm starting to dial 911 when I see the guy take off across the parking lot. Whoosh! And I went, well, he'll be gone before I can call the cops. So I put my cell phone away, walked up to the van, and realized that Riker had scared the gentleman so badly that the gentleman had peed himself. I got in the van on the other side. And I said, I bet he'll be much more careful about trying to steal a vehicle.
Now, if you didn't have a dog, your vehicle would have been stolen.
That's right. Or he'd at least tried to. Now, we've got a friend who's been an assistant trainer for us who's a local police officer. I told him that story one day, and he laughed so hard, thought he was going to wet himself. But yes, those people who like to mess with our cars.
Exactly. Oh, my favorite. And especially my not favorite in the wintertime is about 11 o'clock. Dog has to go outside, or you want to let him out before you go to bed. You try to get your little dog to hurry, go potty quickly as it's cold, or it could be raining, or who
and
knows
of course
what.
you're in bare feet and ready for bed, and you just threw a light jacket on.
And that's when they usually go, "Hey, look at something to play with."
Or, I think I missed that squirrel. Or, where did the cat go?
Or, it's 11:30 at night, and Walter says to himself, tomorrow I need to go to the children's library to do a visit. So I think I'll be the first dog in my owner's life to ever find a skunk and get skunked.
Twice!
At 11:30 at night.
In the face!
So, from 11:30 to about 1 o'clock, I spent the rather cold evening out on my deck, my wooden deck, gathering the baking soda and the vinegar and the tomato juice and the soap and rinsing and smelling and rinsing and sniffing and rinsing and sniffing until we thought he was acceptable.
And he still had a mild odor on the face.
You got real close.
But then it's like after you're done with him,
then it's yourself.
You have to go get yourself cleaned up.
Well, thank goodness he at least got skunked in the back 40.
Oh,
so
good.
by the time he ran up, all I really had to do was the deck where he had conveniently rolled on his face and
trying to rub it off.
Get it off. But that all happened as I was shampooing him out there anyway. So yeah, there were times I thought, if I didn't have a dog, I wouldn't have to be doing this.
Or when you're dead asleep and all of a sudden you hear a unusual, well, either that to go potty or they have an upset stomach and you're going, somebody's throwing up. and that wakes you up from a dead sleep. So then I usually like, oh no, where are they? And of course it's in sleep and you're listening. Where is the dog? Then you jump up to try and turn the light on, and if you jump up wrong, you could step in it.
Or there's that, they have a little gastrointestinal upset and you're laying in bed going, sniff, sniff, sniff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Been there and done that. And if you didn't have a dog, you could have a nice night's sleep.
Yeah.
Nothing could wake you up at 2:30 in the morning.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier when we were talking about furniture, we talked about beds, but to go into that a little more, Riker's favorite thing, you're laying in bed, he gets between my husband and I, snuggles up, he likes to spoon, but then he sticks out all 4 feet and pushes so he can make more room in the middle. And you feel those nice, horny, hard pads in your back or worse yet, your stomach pushing. Mm-hmm. And he's not a very big dog, but he takes up a whole lot of bed until I finally go, get off now. I don't care if your old bones are sore. Get off.
I've actually been pushed out of bed by a very long-legged Irish setter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, the relationship didn't last anyway. But anyway.
You could be sound, if you didn't have a dog, you could be sound asleep and actually wake up to the alarm clock rather than a cold nose in your eyeball.
If you didn't have a dog, you could sleep in.
Yeah, that too.
On weekends.
Yeah.
Instead of, wait a minute, it's routine.
No, not the truth. Or, there you go, you could be reading the morning paper.
And relax with a cup of coffee or tea.
Take it easy instead of being outside in the rain, in the cold, trying to get your dog to hurry, go potty. And if it's raining, then you got to dry them off and get their feet all nice and dry before you let them in the house. And you still didn't have your cup of coffee.
Do people that don't have dogs still have a cabinet that's just filled with old towels for rainy days and dog baths?
No, it's just people with dogs.
Just people with dogs.
That cabinet has other things. No,
When I see
we have Towels.
I see it's raining. It's like, sigh, go to the cabinet. Put one right there by the back door, one by the front door, and then another one for drying off. And
yeah, there you go. If you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't have towels laying around your floor, inside or outside of your doors.
Yep. You wouldn't have to have the supersized washing machine like my husband and I just bought because we killed the old one because the drum wasn't big enough.
Yep.
And then there's the dog trainer thing. You know, if you didn't have a dog, you wouldn't be out on a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning with the dog trainers telling you, make your dog sit.
I mean, Saturday mornings you could sleep in? What a concept. We don't know that, do we?
Do you realize most people have a tendency to do that?
Really?
And
well, we're out here yelling at dogs.
Now, my puppy classes, not by my choice, are at 8:30 on Saturday mornings. Do you know how many people that have gotten a dog for the first time, a puppy, have come to me and asked, whose decision was it to have puppy classes at 8:30 in the morning?
We outranked you. You were new to us then.
You come in, you take the schedule.
Well, I tell them they might as well get used to it now.
How about dog toys?
All over the place. My dogs have more toys than I ever had as a kid.
I mean, raising Kayla, we had kids' toys. But you know what? I seem to have more dog toys laying around than I ever did kid toys when she was a baby.
And they love it. They go digging around in the basket. It's like they go to the basket and have a preconceived notion. Wonder where that toy is? I haven't seen that in a while. And they go digging around. And we'll come up with one specific toy. Archer's real good about that.
Yep.
What do people that don't have dogs talk about? Because if, like, we find a cool new toy, it's like we want to share the news with everybody.
And we have a tendency
or it's on sale.
Or we buy 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of them. Or whole boxes of.
Or no, it's even worse. When you get, we got students who love to come here, could talk to us about their dog's poop because we're the only ones who can understand that. And they're just so, because nobody at home understands me or at work, and I just sit there going, yeah, I know. Yeah. He's like, it's just right, Bubba. He's, really?
Okay.
Going into detail. Nice.
Well, and then at a therapy dog lunch, there were a bunch of us that gathered for lunch with our dogs outside on the patio. We got into quite a discussion about the best poopy bag holders.
Yes.
Okay, now, what photos do people put up in their work cubicle if they don't have a dog?
Oh,
kids aren't that cute, are they?
Relatives. Vacation spots.
I have one of my daughter, and all the rest are my animals. It is very sad.
Pictures are all of the dogs in front of the Grand Canyon. And
That's true.
I do have one of my husband in my office, but it's with a dog and a dog and a cat also.
They wouldn't look right otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, overall, I think if you didn't have a dog, I think life might be a little boring.
Oh, definitely. And
I wouldn't know what else to do.
And how many times do the dogs make us laugh?
You could have a bad day, and they're going to do something silly, and then make you laugh.
How long have each of us been without a dog? Ever? Have we ever? I can tell you I've been without a dog for 6 months.
There were times during my early childhood when my dad, who was military, was being transferred often, that we had cats, but not dogs. But that was very early in my childhood. From about 10 or 11 years old on, the only time I was without a dog was in Navy boot camp. During Marine Corps boot camp, Paul and I were already married and the dogs were home with him. But, so during Navy boot camp, I did not have a dog. But as soon as I got to my first duty station, I was military police, was assigned to the military police, and I made damn sure I was the first dog handler. I had the first military police dog on Miramar, and I was not a high-ranking individual. I just, you know my mouth. I can talk my way into just about anything.
She's very shy. Really, she is.
I got the first dog. I was still living in the barracks when I got that dog.
Yeah, now think about it. You're right. Growing up, I had a dog.
Yeah.
Moved out of the house, and before I moved to someplace where I could have a dog, it probably was a year.
A year.
But then I was searching for some place to go that I could get a dog. But during that time of year that I didn't have a dog, I did wildlife rescue. So I was bottle feeding and raising raccoons, rabbits, kittens, whatever. So I had an animal of something, or ferrets or something.
And that first place you got when you got Hans, boy, that was a little bitty tiny place, but you could have Hans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And before him, it was a Keysound.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Way back when. So.
Yep.
Well, that was my very first dog, too, when I was a kid. When I ran away to the circus at age 5, I took my Keyshot with me. We were found traveling around the highway. The first year of college, they required you to live on campus in the dorm. And no dogs allowed. I made do with a hamster for about 6 months. And then I found a dog and I snuck it in and out of the dorm for the last 3 months of that year.
Yeah, see, I snuck my military police dog into the barracks, and then when I got an apartment, I brought him into the barracks, and of course he was very well trained, or brought him into the apartment, and being very well trained, and wearing my uniform with a gun, nobody argued with me. And he was a Newfoundland German Shepherd mix. Who's going to argue with me?
No. Nobody.
I don't think it was just totally, though, that first year blues as a freshman. I think I just really had withdrawal that first year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As soon as I could move off campus, get a dog, then I was happier.
As far as I'm concerned, if you didn't have a dog, you're going to be lonely. You're not going to laugh nearly as much. And life's not going to be nearly as interesting.
And when you do cry, then you got somebody to listen to you who won't tell anybody else.
Yep.
And it's over faster.
Yep. This past 2 weeks after our friend passed away and we had her memorial, Bashir's been plastered to my knee. He just decided in the last couple days that I'm okay. Because the previous week or two, he every time I sat down, he was leaning up against the knee or laying on top of my foot. So,
coincidence with the memorial, or people have been thinking about it, I guess. But there, a number of people have talked to me about, are there animals in heaven?
To me, it's not heaven. I don't care what organized religion says, but to me, it's not heaven if there's dogs not there.
My dog's waiting for me.
Okay.
Yep.
And
the other
that's
side
the
of that bridge,
consensus.
she's waiting. Well, both Hans and Shasta are sitting there waiting.
That's the consensus for animal people.
Yes.
That it ain't heaven if they're not there.
Right.
So we'll probably never have to worry about non-shedding dogs and all that in heaven. I mean, it'll just still be there, and we'll be used to it.
Maybe that's what makes the white fluffy cows. It's all the Samoyeds that are shedding.
Samoyeds are mixed with the Bichons, and they're all the Coton de Tuliars.
Oh, on that silly note, I think that's enough from us. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I know we had fun planning it out. We had fun doing it. And you know what? That's the nice thing about dogs. They make us laugh. So, on that note, we'll see you at our next show.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.